Hello viewers. In the beginning I had decided that after that Minecraft programming video I would be teaching you this Scratch, which is a great way of teaching programming to children in detail. But then I saw this Make a Flappy game on code.org and I explored it, and it's very exciting for children because in the end of this exercise you would be getting a complete game that you can even play on your own phones. So why not do this first before Scratch? So let's start. Click on this Flappy game. This is the same website that we used for that Minecraft exercise. I will be again giving you the link to this website in the video description. So let's begin by clicking on Make a Flappy game, and then it says that it's a drag and drop programming to make the Flappy Bird game, and it can be done on all modern browsers, Android and iOS devices. Okay, so let's start. I'm skipping the video again. Do have a look at it because it explains the game in detail. So again we have this the Flappy Bird game here, the scene from the Flappy Bird game here, and we have these blocks and we have this workspace where we will be dragging the blocks to make our game. Okay, and when this run button is clicked, then the game starts. So first we see this when click block here. What does that mean? It means that when we click the mouse or touch the screen here, then what should happen? The Flappy Bird should flap its wings. So let's put that there. And what should it do next? It should play some sound of flapping its wings. So it should play a wing sound. So let's run the code. Okay, so here we go. I flapped and it reached the target, and that was the goal of the exercise. Okay, so this is puzzle number 2. What do we have to do here? The instructions say that now that we have added some ground, so we need to take that into account. Attach a block to the when hit the ground block. Your code needs to end game with Flappy crashes. So the point of any game is, the programming point of any game is that you have to consider all the scenarios, all the button clicks and everything, all the ways in which the user can interact with your game. It can be the button clicks, the button presses, or the clicks on the screen, or the touches on the screen. So the game has to have some kind of code for every interaction of the user with your game. So this interaction is that when click, flap, and then play the wing sound. And what is this condition? When hit the ground, play some kind of a sad sound like a smash, and then end the game. So we have taken into account that when the user touches the screen or clicks on the screen, the bird should flap its wings and play a wing sound. And when it hits the ground, for example, when you don't click and it just falls down due to gravity, it should make that smash sound and end the game. So I'm not going to flap, and see, it crashed and the game ended. Okay, puzzle number 3. The when run block allows you to run the code when your game starts. Try setting the level speed and flapping to the target. So what is happening here? What is the meaning? Remember this when run block, it was also in Minecraft. When run, that means when this button is clicked. That means when the game starts, what should be done in the beginning. In every game, there are some conditions that have to be set before the game starts. For example, it could be the color of the bird, the speed of the bird, the game scene, etc. So in this case, what are we doing? we are setting the speed of the movement of the bird, the speed at which it's moving forward. Okay, so I can make it very slow too. Okay, and let's put the wing sound here too, so that there's a wing sound when the bird flaps. So let's run this code. Look, it's moving forward at a very small speed. Flappy will fly through obstacles unless you write code to make him crash. Attach a block to the when hit an obstacle block. Your code needs to end game when Flappy crashes into the first set of pipes. So when click flap, same thing, play the wing sound. And what should be done when it hits an obstacle? It should, again, we should have some sound effect, like a sad sound effect, like play sad sound, and then end the game. So when it will encounter an obstacle, and if it doesn't go through the obstacle, like passes the obstacle in the proper way, and it hits an obstacle, then the game should end and a sad sound should be played. So let's run it. And I'm pretty bad at this game, so I will be doing a lot of crashing here. Okay, so the game ended because I crashed into the pipe. Okay, puzzle number 5. Let's add a scoreboard and count points when Flappy makes it past obstacles. Add to the when pass an obstacle block and then score a point by flying Flappy through the first set of pipes. So again, as I was telling you before, that for everything, for every way the user interacts with your game, there should be some code behind it. So we took care of the fact that when you click the mouse or when you touch the screen, it should flap its wing and play the wing sound, which I am dragging and dropping here. What should happen when it passes an obstacle? Obviously, you should give it a point, and that is the purpose of any game, to score points in it. And we should give it some sort of a happy sound too, like score, this score point sound. So what will happen when it will pass an obstacle? It will score a point and play point sound. Okay. Again, don't forget that in a game, there are some other conditions here which we dealt with in the previous exercises, that when it will hit an obstacle, something will happen, and when it will fall down, something will happen. But they're not showing it to make it less complicated. So run. Okay, so now I have to make it somehow pass through it. Okay, I think I succeeded. Okay, see if you can still score a point after making Flappy flap either a smaller or larger amount. So in a game, there are many levels, and every higher level is more difficult than the previous one. And how do the programmers or the coders or the people who are developing the games, how do they make the higher levels more difficult? By doing something to the game settings that make the game difficult. So what can we do? For example, we are playing a higher level now. So what we will be doing here is that we will make the speed at which the Flappy Bird flaps its wings very small. So now it's like flying will be difficult now, and it will be difficult to score a point when it is flapping its wings at a very small speed or amount. Okay, so obviously I'm going to drag this play wing sound here, and we are going to also that point sound here when it passes an obstacle. So let's see if I'm able to make it past the obstacle. I'm already quite bad at this game, and with the settings that it's flapping its wings at a very small amount, at a very small speed, then I wonder what I will be doing with this game. So let's do it. Oh, okay, so I succeeded. Not bad. Next, try changing the scene by attaching another block to the when run block. So remember I told you that this when run, this is the code, these are the preconditions of the game that you can set in the beginning, like the speed, and now they have added another precondition that we can set the scene. We can change the scene to underwater. Why not? So I will not be adding the sounds here because we will be doing that in the final game. Okay, so let's run it. Oh, see, the scene has been changed to underwater and I died. Okay, 8. Puzzle number 8. You can set visuals anytime, not just when the game starts. Try setting a random scene when other events happen, for example, when passing an obstacle. Okay, so in a game, you may have noticed that, for example, we are playing a racing game and we are racing a very nice looking car, and we cover a certain number of kilometers, and suddenly our car becomes more advanced, much more cooler and amazing looking, because we have been rewarded by the game as we have covered a certain number of kilometers or miles. So it's on a similar way, on a similar pattern. What's happening here is that they are telling us that we can change the game scene and even the player, the bird, into something else when a certain condition is matched. And what is that condition? It can be when you hit an obstacle, but then that the game will be ended, so there's no point of adding that amazing looking changes here or when hit the ground. So we will be adding here. When pass obstacle, score, not just score a point, but also we will be setting the scene to something random. And let's add something for bonus. Let's change our bird from the yellow boring bird to let's see, a fairy. Yeah, fairy sounds interesting. Okay, so when it will pass an obstacle, it will not just score a point. The scene will be set to some random thing. Now, random is something which is decided by the computer. If the total number of, for example, there are 10 scenes, so it will just draw a number like from 1 to 10, and whatever number will come out, it has the same probability of coming out. And then it will, for example, number 5 means underwater, so then that will be set to underwater. So this is the meaning of basically random. So set the scene random, which we don't know at this point. The computer will decide that, and set the player to fairy when we pass an obstacle. So let's run it. Okay, I'm hoping that I passed the obstacle. Oh yeah, I was able to, but then I died again. So you can see that the scene was changed to something else, and I think I am a fairy here who's dead now. Yeah, I'm a fairy. To mix things up, when hitting an obstacle, instead of ending the game, try setting the score back to 0. Now, this is an amazing thing about this programming, is that, Flappy Bird, the popular Flappy Bird has its own rules, and you have to play according to those rules that have been designed by the people who developed that game. Now here, this is your own playground here. You can change the rules here. So when you hit an obstacle, you don't want to die. You just want to set the score to 0. Why not? It's your own game. So let's do it. Okay. So I'm not dying. Yay. But my score is 0. Oh, I needed to finish that game because it was going to go on and on and on, because I'm terrible at playing this game. Okay, this is your playground. Now, this was what I was talking about, and this is why I had stopped adding those sounds, because they were taking too much time in dragging and dropping, because I had decided that I will be adding the sound effects and everything to make the game interesting here. So when run, what should happen? We should have some sort of a scene. How about we decide that we don't want this boring city anymore. We want underwater, and I want it to be a shark. So set player. So these purple blocks, they decide the conditions, the preconditions that we can set when the game is run and the user has not interacted with the game yet. So when run, set the scene to underwater, set the player to a shark. So these are my preconditions. When click, flap a normal amount. I don't want it to be, let's make it large. That means it's flapping a lot. So it should fly better. And you should play the wing sound. And when you hit the ground, you should play some sort of a smash sound. And you should also end the game, because there should be some end point of a game. Otherwise, it will be an infinite game. And when you hit an obstacle, what should happen? We should play a sad sound, or that you have crashed into an obstacle, and you should set the score to 0. No, we're not going to die in this game after hitting an obstacle. This is our own game. And when you pass an obstacle, hooray, we should play a point sound. Okay, Scratch would be so exciting for you, because you can add your own sounds there, and you can add your own, you can even draw things yourself and draw your own shapes and figures and put them there, and you can even draw your own background there. But this is a good beginning point to know what game development is all about. So when you pass an obstacle, you play a point sound, and you obviously score a point. I was going to forget that. Score a point, and what should happen next? How about we reward the player that now you don't have to be a shark anymore. You can be a submarine. Okay, so if you pass an obstacle, you will become a submarine. But if you hit an obstacle, you should be put back to your old form, and that was, if you remember, it was the shark. So we will be turned back into a shark if we hit an obstacle. But if we pass an obstacle, we will become a submarine, and we will stay that until we hit an obstacle, and then we'll back to a shark again. So this is our game, and let's run it. See, I am in the deep blue sea under the water, and I'm a shark. So let's begin the game. Okay, so do you know what? This was something bad. I forgot something here. What was, do you notice what I forgot here? I did not set any speeds for this thing to move forward, for the shark to move forward. So it was just, flapping at the same place. It was not moving forward. So I had to put this block. So this is what programming is all about. You find your bugs. Bugs are basically errors in the program, problems with the program, and you keep on removing them, and the process goes on and on. So let's do it. Now it should work. Let's begin. So see, it's now moving forward, but I crashed. So this is the amazing thing. You can send this game that you have made yourself with your own rules, and you can send it to your phone by just clicking on the send to phone button, and you can see this QR code here, and if you just open your phone camera and you just like taking a picture, you bring this black QR code in front of your camera, your browser will automatically open with this game there, and you can play there. And you can also send it to Facebook and tell everyone about the game that you have made yourself. So I hope you liked this video. Do share it with your friends and family, and tell them this amazing way of learning how to program using games like Minecraft and Flappy Bird, and even movies like Star Wars and what else was there? I think it was Frozen. Yes, it was Frozen. So do share. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.